Hey guys, it's Mark from Migraine Professional. Today I'm answering the question, can gluten cause migraines and headaches? And so the short answer here is yes, it can. But the long answer, we want to understand what is going on and why it's causing it, why it's only causing it in some people, and why some people with migraines and headaches are completely fine with different gluten grains, not just wheat. So what we want to understand is that we've been eating gluten and wheat for a long time, but modern wheat is different than the wheat of 100 years ago. It's very different. It has much more gluten in it. It's much more genetically modified. It's much more sprayed. It has lots of glyphosate. Glyphosate is a pesticide that's used to it's very harmful to the body, and it's been linked with leaky gut. And leaky gut is a process where the lining of your gut that generally keeps food inside the gut and not in the bloodstream and keeps nutrients coming into the bloodstream, that lining starts to separate, and you develop these holes in your gut where bigger particles, food particles, proteins, and things can get through. They can get into your blood, and then your immune system can see them, target them, and then become sensitized to them, and then you start getting these reactions to different foods, different food proteins. This is because of leaky gut. Those holes that occur because of the the spacing between the cells in the gut that allow particles to get through, that actual process is called leaky gut. And so glyphosate, which is a pesticide often used on different crops like soy and wheat and corn, that's very well known to be linked to leaky gut. So again, lots of gluten, glyphosate, and then as we know, wheat is a grain. Grains are notorious for causing blood sugar spikes and drops, especially in people of more northern countries who are more adapted to a fat-based diet. And those that have blood sugar handling issues, they want to be careful with all kind of grains, all sources of grains, especially anyone with immune issues, inflammatory issues. You want to be careful with the grains. Grains are one of the first food groups that you should kind of cut out. Generally one of the first food groups that cutting out really helps your digestive system with. Grains and dairy really help your digestive system. And then zonulin. So wheat has been found to release this chemical called zonulin in the gut. And zonulin actually goes into, it gets released into the gut because in the lamina propria of the villi of the gut, which absorb nutrients. And then this zonulin enters the cells of the gut's lining, and it activates the myelin sheaths to pull. They're basically it's like muscles to pull these cells apart, and then different particles can get in between the cells, get into the body, into the bloodstream, and then we develop things like leaky gut, food sensitivities, and a whole number of different issues that we want to avoid if we want to have a robust digestive system, kind of steer away from inflammation, have a healthy brain and gut. So in one study with celiacs, they actually found that they had 4 times more migraines than just the regular population. And what they found that when they removed gluten from their diets, 25% of them, their attacks completely disappeared, and 38% of them, their migraine attacks reduced in intensity. So there is a connection here. There's something going on. And then in another study, 9 patients, which is a very small study, but they had celiac, they had migraines, and they had white matter abnormalities. And so in migraines, especially on MRIs, you'll generally find these white spots, and those are called the WMAs, the white matter abnormalities. And so what they found is that taking in these 9 patients, when they removed gluten from their diet, that both the migraines and the white matter abnormalities improved. So it's important to kind of make that connection and see that there is something going on there. And then it's also important to understand that it's not just your celiac or you're fine with gluten. There's also non-celiac gluten sensitivity, which encompasses many, many people. And so there's many people whose digestive system is not strong enough and they can't tolerate gluten, and they will have a number of different issues. Gluten can affect everything. basically every system in your body. So you want to be kind of careful and test out and see if gluten is a problem for you. That's why I created the food triggers guide. So I'm going to link to an article in the description on the kind of answering the question in depth on how gluten is causing migraines, what's happening, what's kind of going on, how we can understand it, and then what we can do about it. And so let me know in the comments, do you find gluten triggers you? Is gluten one of your big triggers, or do you find you're okay with it? Let me know. Thanks. Hey, it's Mark from migraineprofessional.com. Thank you for watching this video. Make sure to subscribe in the bottom left corner, and if you want to learn more about migraines and headaches than you've ever known before, and understand what causes them, what creates them, and what you can do about them, make sure to go to migraineprofessional.com. Thanks.